Good evening, Dr. Sagar.
Yeah, hello, Dr. Gan.
Good evening, sir.
Great. Okay, great. It seems we've got 20 participants so far. Okay, we will start in a minute. Great. I think it's time for us to start, Dr. Himdad, right?
I'm ready.
Great. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. I'm very pleased that we've got a great number of participants with us online today for this webinar. It's arranged by the English Department, College of Languages at the University of Human Development. And the webinar is entitled Teaching Tips for 21st Century Teachers. Just a short introduction to the webinar. Today, we are living in a fast-changing world, and advances in technology have changed all aspects of life, including, of course, education. And teaching in modern day is different from a couple of decades ago. The challenges are different, and we need to be equipped with necessary skills to meet the requirements of education in the 21st century. After all, education is a lifelong process, and we as educators, lecturers, need to be equipped with necessary skills, and we need to be open to learn new ideas, techniques of teaching, and we need to constantly update our knowledge so that we are up to expectations of society, expectations of students and parents. Today, it's our great honor to have Professor Dr. Himdad A.Muhammad, Professor of Linguistics at the University of Salahuddin, to present this webinar. Thank you very much, Dr. Himdad. Thank you for your time, your efforts. This is a time of the year that we need to spend with our family members, but thank you. It seems that we are keen on learning more knowledge. Thank you for your time, and the mic is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sagar. Good evening, everyone, participants. And first of all, I would like to thank University of Human Development in general and English Department at College of Languages, in particular, Dr. Sagar, the head of the English Department, and my brother and colleague, Dr. Raouf, the Dean of the College of Languages. I know it is the time of holidays and rest, but teachers get relaxed, teachers get rest when they know that they have gathered and collected a number of new knowledge, new techniques to start with after the new year, when students are back on track or back to classes, maybe virtual classes or on-campus classes. It's an honor for me also, Dr. Saber, to be with you, with colleagues from everywhere, colleagues from Karadakh, colleagues from Suleymania. I see some people from Raparin, Soran, Erbil also joining us. And this is a good opportunity actually to be with you all. And thank you for the opportunity. I hope the discussion that we are going to have will be of mutual interest for you and for myself also, because I consider myself in the learning process, in a continuous learning process still. So teachers need to go through updating their knowledge and upgrading and then increasing their knowledge on daily basis, so that they are up to the expectations of their students, of their departments, and then colleagues also. The session will be as follows. I'll be trying to talk for around 45 to 50 minutes, maybe maximum 55 minutes. And then there will be discussion, and the mic will be open for those who want to ask a question or add something, add a comment, and we can finish in 1 hour and a half, hopefully. I told Dr. Sabr that I'm going to record this session, the whole session, for those who did not have chance to participate today with us. Later on, they will get the link of the whole recording. Maybe there might be also some of you who are already here, you will have some power cuts, so you will be, or you have some obligations, you need to leave early, that's okay, because we are going to record it, and then I will share the link with Dr. Sabr so that he can pass it on to you. More than that, I am going to share the slides with Dr. Sabr also later on.
Sure.
The slides also contain some links so that you can click on, and then some hyperlinks, so you can later on watch some videos, and I have put some books also at the end, the titles that I have also PDF version of it. If somebody was interested, then I can share this also with you. I will start sharing my screen, and at any point of time, Dr. Sabr, if you wanted to say something or somebody wanted to add something, it is welcome. If not, we will ask, or we will be ready for taking questions towards the end of the session. Is that okay?
Great. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Good, good. So as we say from the screen, the title, actually, we have negotiated the title with Dr. Sabr. We thought that something related to the 21st century teachers would be good. So I came up with this: teaching tips for 21st century teachers. We are all teachers. Teaching is, we can say, almost all our life, but every era, each period of time maybe requires something specific from us. So the outline of the session would be including a kind of introduction, and then why we teach, what is our role as teachers, 21st century learning, and how does it differ from the 20th century, for example, or earlier periods of history, and teaching in the 21st century, how it should be, what strategies we need to adopt, we need to use in our classes, and what are the characteristics of 21st century teachers or educators in general. Then we have some tips and challenges, solutions and recommendations, and some useful sources at the end. So as the starting point, actually, I wanted to start with a kind of quick question we should ask ourselves every now and then, and actually every day. Why do we teach? This is very important. Why do we teach, and what are the teachers' roles? If I can get a couple of answers of why do we teach from the audience, it would be great. If somebody wants to say something. Why do we teach? I mean, did you ask this to yourself? I mean, we should ask ourselves, what is our role as a teacher, and why do we teach? Yes, if somebody wants
Yes,
to
doctor,
share.
can I share?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Oh, okay, doctor. I just joined the seminar actually.
We have just started. We have just started.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
If you just introduce yourself, where are you from?
Okay, I am Gharib, working at Suran University,
Okay.
and I am TESOL.
Why do we teach? Why do you teach? For example,
Okay.
let's make it personal. Why do you teach?
This is a very specific question for only teachers.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, this is the process. And the second one is because we have a background of experience for some articles or topic, like if I talk about myself, as an English
to the
teacher,
question, please.
I have experience.
Just because of time,
so
I want it to be engaging.
The purpose
Why
of
do you
teaching,
teach?
To actually to give my knowledge to the students.
To share what you have with others. That's right. Okay.
Exactly what I have and what my experience about to share to
Good.
the other people.
Good,
Yes.
good. Let's hear somebody else from another part of Kurdistan, let's say, if somebody is.
Can I participate, please?
Yes, sure, sure.
Share my point of view.
Can I start?
Yes, Dr. Saleh.
Thank you, dear Dr. Bismillah. First of all, I express my gratitude for this webinar and to my my dear teacher, Dr. Himdad A.Muhammad.
Dr. Saleh.
And thanks to all the participants. I think teaching has become a fact in our lives. Nowadays, it's a profession. I think most of the teachers in the past didn't choose to be teachers because our acceptance at the universities was out of our control. But nowadays, since it has become a part of our lives, we have to answer this question: why do we teach? I think since it's a fact, as I said, we have to know why do we teach and to whom we transfer our
This
knowledge.
question now is to you, Dr. Saleh. If you just give us your answer, why do you teach personally?
Uh-huh. Transferring what we have in our minds, transferring what we have got from our teachers to a new generation.
So
This is my answer to the question.
what is the teacher's role? Is just to pass on knowledge?
Not only knowledge,
just the
doctor.
source of information?
Everything that we have in characteristics, in behaviors, in knowledge, our personality doesn't consist of knowledge alone.
Okay.
It consists of
Good. So I wanted to start with this question deliberately, actually, because we have, when we say teachers of the 21st century, it means their role changes every now and then with the periods of time, in the periods of history, actually every year and with every class, the role changes. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes.
Thanks, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr.
Yes.
Saleh.
First of all, greetings to everyone. I am Chinar Abdul Majid, TESOL student at University of Kurdistan Awlir.
Okay.
I would like to answer your question, Dr. Himdad.
Yes, please.
I would like to teach because I want to work as a guidance to the students.
A guide. So
yes, I have
another role is to guide students.
Instruction. I have to instruct, give them instructions, give them guidance. As you know, due to this technological development and this rapid change everywhere, so we have to go along with the changes. And yes, that's why I want to guide my students and I want to present what I have.
We've got a couple of answers. Some of you say to pass on what we have learned from the chat. Also, I can read. Hadi says to share what I know. Kak Gharib said that. Dr. Saleh said. Ms. Sinar also talked. And Mustafa Farhad Hama said to share and exchange our knowledge. This is good also. But this part of exchange depends on the level of the students, but we are learners. So Dr. Saber, I want these minutes back from my time, okay? So no problem. I just wanted to be engaging, okay? Yeah, because this is one of the characteristics of 21st century teaching, actually. That's why I deliberately started with this. So why we teach changes. The teacher's role changes. It changes based on the period, the world that we live in, the timing that, we are going through, the level of, the level of the students.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bahra, an assistant lecturer in the University of Suleimania, Basic Education.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you again. Actually, teachers' roles is various, due to the students' need and interest. Of course, that's why we have changed our role. Like, for example, we are a facilitator, manager, let's say, controller, or maybe, let's say, guidance. And too many roles of the teacher.
It depends on what,
to this
what does it depend
depends on the student's need and interest.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and also depends on what I want, what is my objective, what do I want to teach. Good. So my goal is For example, if I want to teach something, so my role will be changed according to the situation again. So everything has its own, let's say, role.
Good.
If I want to guide my students, so I'm going to control them, manage them. So I have a group working, I have something like that. So it will be the manager. And I want to control them and to guide them to what they have to read, like a reference, the source, like a source as well. So it depends.
Okay, thank you very much. And I think this is enough because we have taken from different perspectives, and I am reading also from the chat box that, for example, Botan is saying learning is the target, so all we do is for learning. Maisa says it's a call from within, which is interesting. Mustafa Farhad says again, to make the world a better place, that's why we teach. Shawan says to facilitate the process of learning. These are all true. Okay, so let's see. Sorry, I have to stop sharing and share back.
Yeah.
Okay. We did this part, I know. So if teachers previously were seen as if they were just to provide content to the students, facts, we pass on facts to them, and we give them dates, for example, in history, which fight or war happened at which dates, and which dates are important in the history of mankind and in the countries. We give them formulas, for example, for sources. We can also provide research. Teachers, I mean, can provide research, theories, stories, and information after all, right? So we all agreed that teachers can do all this. You agree with me, right? But in the 21st century, actually before that, but let's stick to 21st century, we have to search for our role. What is our role? Students can find information. They don't need teachers to find information. They can find it anytime, anything. They can find anything. They can find it anytime, and they can find it anywhere. So you see, the role of the teachers change because now, due to the technological advancements around the world, students can have access to information. Anything they want, they can find it at any time at their homes and in the schools, in their offices, wherever they go, and anywhere also. And the sources of information are many. Could be a blog, Wikipedia, YouTube, cell phones, whatever. So whatever, whenever, wherever. But the problem now is this limitless information, virtual information that is all around students. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to deal with it. So I think the role of the teacher here is evident and is highlighted in order to tell students how to deal with data, how to deal with the overwhelming amount of information that we have. So as if we are now, we have this mind. Whose mind do you think is that? Is it the mind of the student or the mind of the teacher in this picture? Whose mind is that? Do you see the screen, right, Dr. Saber?
Yes, definitely.
Good. So
the teacher
whose mind,
probably.
Whose mind is that? Dr. Saber, you said?
The teacher.
The teacher's mind, okay. Who else? Zina also says the teacher.
It can be the student as well.
Could be
Students.
the students also.
Yes.
You see a lot of things at the same time in one small mind or brain. A lot of things go on at the same time. So it could be a teacher's or it could be a student's mind. So we come to the conclusion now that teachers are no longer, and I highlighted no longer, the only source of information, right? You agree with me?
Yes.
Teachers are
Yes.
no longer the only source of information. Maybe one of the sources, but not the only source
Yeah.
of information, right? We all agree.
Exactly. Yes.
So what shall
Yeah.
we
Yes,
do?
sure.
What shall we do as teachers? As teachers in this rapid changing world, we have to find ourselves. We have to know what? We have to know who are we dealing with when we teach. We have to know who are we dealing with. We have to know what are we after, and we have to know what does the 21st century demand from us. What does the 21st century demand from teachers? So there is something called the 21st century skills that people are around the world are after. What skills do we need? What skills do our students need? They need to know how to collaborate. They need to know how to communicate. They need to know how to connect. They need to know how to think critically, and they need to know how to create things. See? So when we know what we are dealing with, when we know what skills this century is demanding from us, then we can decide what role we take up, what role we play with our students.
Mm.
If we just have 1 minute to go through this short video, then it will tell us how or what skills are we after. It's just 2 minutes, and maybe we watch only 1.5 minutes of it. Is the sound there, Mamusta, Doctor?
No. Even, yeah. Even the video is not shown.
Just a minute.
Okay.
The video is not shown? Okay.
Yeah, we can't see it. Yes.
Now?
Yeah, we can see it, but no voice. Yes, so we can't hear anything, just we can see it.
Okay.
Yes, now, yeah. Perfect.
Have you heard the phrase 21st century skills lately? Does it seem weird that nobody ever takes the time to really explain what that means? I'm Chris Zook with AES, and today we're going to answer the question, what are 21st century skills? 21st century skills are 12 abilities that students need to succeed in the age of the internet. These 12 abilities are grouped into 3 different categories. In this video, we'll dive into each category in depth so that you know what people are talking about when they say the phrase 21st century skills. We'll start by talking about learning skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
These skills include, have you heard the phrase 21st century?
No voice yet.
Okay, I think that's enough from the video, actually.
Yeah.
Because I think you have heard enough that there are some useful links, and I put these links in the slides, and you can watch it later on. But I just wanted to pass this idea that every century has its own requirements from students, requirements from teachers. Now we are focusing on what teachers need to do in order to deal with a generation that lives in and for 21st century, because the century requires yeah, I know the slides, I didn't share it again, because the century requires some skills from the graduates later on, from the people who live in that century. Okay, so that's why we said we have to find ourselves to see who are we dealing with and what kind of skills are required from us. These 2 links, later on you will get them, and it's some minutes or some couple of minutes that you can listen to later on. So now we have to know, what is 21st century learning, and is it really different than another century's learning, and then let's say 20th century? Because when the term 21st century learning has been used over and over to refer to the ability of students to master skills like critical thinking, like digital literacy, and the ability to collaborate and to communicate, and how to demonstrate these skills that will, by the end of the day, help them navigate their way into the life. And then we as teachers need to equip the students with these characteristics and skills that help them live in this ever-changing technological world. So in the video also you heard the 4 C's: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. These 4 C's are very important for every 21st century learner, not teacher, learner. That's why teachers need to actually take them into consideration when they teach. Okay, so this diagram, this will show what do you mean by 21st century learner, or who is it? If you just start from the left, you say that a learner in the 21st century is a self-directed learner, is an innovator, is a globally aware person, is a communicator, is a problem solver, is a critical thinker, is a civically engaged individual, is a collaborator, is an information media literate, is aware of that. And that person is even financially and economically literate. Any learner we take has all these characteristics. So when we teach, actually, we have to be aware of this, and we have to prepare them for this world that they live in, for the century that they live in, for the labor market, for the workplaces they might go in, or they might also already be in. So the question is, we know what are the 21st century skills, right? And we know the characteristics of the learner in general about the learner in the 21st century. So what strategies teachers in this age must take in order to guarantee that at least some of these characteristics, some of these skills are achieved by the end of their study, by the end of the end of the graduation of that study of that department. There are several strategies actually, but 5 of them are very important. And they are important not only for teachers who teach in schools, but for all educators in general. Because an educator could be a family member, could be parent, could be not teaching staff, could be a manager also. But let's stick to classrooms, let's stick to teachers. 5 important teaching strategies for 21st century teachers. The first one, the 21st century teacher must be able to teach to teach and reach to all learners. He must be able to teach and reach all learners. And we know that in every class that we have, the teacher might be focusing on only those who pay attention, for only those who are present in the class, for only those who are present in their Zoom meetings, in their virtual meetings, in their Google Meets, and the technological apps and devices that we use. What about those who could not make it? What about those who were absent? What about those who were not interested in the way you teach, actually? So a 21st century teacher must be able to teach and reach all learners. Never say that this is not my job. I'm doing my job and that's it. No, your work demands that you teach and reach every learner who is supposed to be in your class. And the students best learn when they are taught to their own unique style and ability. As teachers have their own teaching methods, right? But students also have their learning ways, learning methods, learning strategies. So a teacher should be able, again, to teach and reach all learners, not only learners who learn by seeing something on the board, by watching something. We have different types of learners: kinesthetic learners, visual learners, auditory learners, and others. So a 21st century teacher must be aware of the fact that students have different learning strategies, different learning styles, we call them, not strategies actually. So he should be able to make something, he can reach all of them, he can teach all of them actually. The other thing, as Howard Gardner says, is there are multiple intelligences, and actually there are 8 types of intelligences, and a 21st century teacher, in order to teach and reach all the learners, he should know his students. He should know what type of intelligence does that student have in order to match his style with it, his method with that one. So teaching for all. This is the first strategy that we have to take into consideration. The second strategy is a 21st century teacher must be able to implement technology. Previously, in the let's say 60s and 70s of the 20th century, if somebody could not read or write, he was called illiterate, right? In the let's say 80s, 90s, and others, if somebody was not, a good reader of books also is, or who could not think a lot, is also kind of considered to be illiterate. And now, towards the end of the 20th century and the beginning of the 21st century on, actually, if somebody is not able to use and implement technology in his life, then he is also considered to be, between inverted commas, actually, an illiterate person. He is incomplete, we can say, not illiterate, but he is not complete. And when it comes to teaching, when it comes to teaching again, technology has become part of learning. Technology has become part of teaching, actually. Imagine if you have a teacher in your school, in your department, who does not have anything, who does not know anything about technology. How would that teacher be viewed by the department, by his colleagues, and by his students? So a 21st century teacher must be able to implement technology, and not only the gadgets and the devices uh, that are available in his department, but also those that he knows his students know, because this would be also very important, because later on you might use them for your benefit, for your teaching. He should know the know-how to implement and to incorporate teaching, and especially technology, into the classroom. This is the second important strategy. The third one actually is very important for life, not only for teaching, but for teaching is also very important. It
I think we've got a problem with the voice.
Is my voice?
Yeah, there were a couple of interruptions. So
okay.
now
What about now?
Okay. Perfect.
Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
The third strategy is very important for whole life, not only for teaching, but for teachers is also very important. A 21st century teacher must be able to foster student relationships, because if you foster healthy relationships among students, actually you facilitate your work, which is conveying or preparing them for others. If they don't have a healthy relationship with you or with their colleagues, then you will have problems. And the teacher can also facilitate interpersonal relationships with the classroom, so that students have a sense of community. When students have good relation with their teachers and among themselves, your job becomes easier. It facilitates your work. The picture that I'm sharing is now, who are the teachers and who are the students in these pictures, actually? Do you recognize them? Is the one who is taking selfie a student or a teacher? And they are all my friends. I have taken permission. That's why I'm publishing this and putting that. They are teachers and students of College of Basic Education at Salahuddin University. And the one who is taking a selfie is a teacher. Mm-hmm. And the one who is below this one is a teacher also. The one at the back is a teacher. You see how is their relation? And they are visiting a place where kids without parents, or kids who were left by their parents, live. So you see, when you have a good relation, you don't make differences between who is the teacher and who is the student. But don't forget, we said a healthy relationship. Okay, that is built on trust. When you have that kind of relationship among the students themselves, and among, just concentrate on this lady and see what is she doing to her face, and what is she wearing. Do you know what is she wearing? She's wearing an animal costume, yeah, just to make the kids laugh for some minutes. Imagine if that lady were you. I mean, will you do it? You will not do it unless there is a healthy relationship, unless there is respect, mutual respect, unless there is interpersonal, and unless there is a sense of community to that one. So you have to build it, and then they will be ready to do anything the teacher says, to do anything that it takes to make others happy. See why I brought this live example to you, because it is very important actually, that teachers in this century, and I said it is good for life, not only for teaching, but for teaching it is very important to establish and foster healthy relationships. Look at these two pictures also. This is a group of students. One of the students passed away a couple of years ago, and how this kind of sense of belonging made them so sad, and they even wrote the name and so on. That's what I mean, to have a relationship among students and between students and teachers. Look again, the same group of teachers uh, who at the university level will wear such costumes and such dresses inside the university, or this is inside the university, this picture on the right, unless they know that it is for something, it is worth it. And this all comes about as the result of a healthy relationship between the teacher and the students, and among the students themselves. The other strategy, number 4, is that a teacher of 21st century must be forward thinking. He must be aware of what's coming next, anticipate and expect what would be the future, and plan for that one accordingly, to see uh, what's coming next actually. I know it is difficult sometimes to plan, and the plans will not do, but it is better to plan A and B and C in case this happens, and then uh, you can start your own plans. So if you have a forward thinking, you think ahead, then you can help students navigate their way through this ever-changing technological world, and you prepare them for the unknown. You tell them that this life, you can come across unknown results, unknown incidents, so you have to be prepared for that one. So a teacher in the 21st century has that characteristic of what we call forward thinking. The last strategy that I thought it is important is that a teacher in the 21st century must be able to embrace change. He should embrace change, whatever change that happens. For example, in this widespread of this pandemic, we were all obliged to stay at home and then start teaching there. So if a teacher is not able to embrace this change, then he cannot do anything. He will just sit still and stand still and do nothing. And not only embrace change, but also adapt to it. You have to accommodate yourself to the changes, and because it might require new strategies, new testing techniques, and new ways to communicate with others, right? So embrace change is very important for uh, teachers in the 21st century. So there are some other tips that we can actually go through and then come to final tips. What should teachers do in order to guarantee these 5 points will happen, will be achieved by the students and by the teachers? The first important thing is we have to add blended learning into our classrooms. And blended learning is kind of, if it is not totally human, it's not totally technological. So it is a gray area between the two, where you can mix up something done by human beings, something done via technological devices and others. And I understand teachers know what is blended learning. So it's a mixture of two. This is one way to guarantee that we can achieve what we wanted actually. The other important thing is that we have to encourage our students to embrace mindset growth, a growth mindset. A growth mindset will see failure as an opportunity to grow, while a fixed mindset is, a failure will limit his abilities. So you see the difference is very clear from the picture that I have shown. So again, according to growth mindset, any challenge that the teacher gives to students is helping that person to grow. And a growth mindset will always like to try new things. So try to encourage your students to embrace that kind of mindset called growth mindset, to try new things, that challenges will make them grow, that failure is an opportunity to learn from, and many other characteristics. We have to also, we can teachers in the 21st century, they can have their own class hashtag. I guess you know what is a hashtag, so no need to go there, but it is very important that for example, if you have some classroom routines or classroom rooms, you can have a hashtag under that, and all the students or in your class or in your group will share and will see what you have agreed upon. So a classroom hashtag or a class hashtag would be very good. A classroom blog is also very important to have, because this would be a forum or a platform where all students, even the shy, those who are shy to participate, will try to uh, write something there, and maybe they will contribute better, and it will be kept also as an archive for your class. The other thing is very important. This is a blogging way. The uses of blog, several uses of classroom blog. The other thing that every teacher can do actually is to have a kind of friendly competition. A friendly competition is a source of motivation for learners. And this is the nature of human beings, is when there is a competition, when there is a contest, they will try harder. But wise teachers in the 21st century must think of how to make this competition a means of learning, a means of motivating students in order to try harder. For example, this is a competition of debate among all the universities. It was actually prepared by Imam Bukhari, Bukhari Abdullah from Salahuddin University, and many universities participated, and that was a kind of motivation for people to talk. And actually, there were many uh, inspiring talents and topics in these competitions. So 21st century teachers can integrate these into their teaching or into their classrooms, because this is what we are after, and this is what they need when they go out from school or when they finish school. Encourage collaboration and communication. This is very important among students. And this is very important also to stay focused on literacy, actually, more specifically about digital literacy. And I think digital literacy is very important because it's a kind of demand and requirement of the century. If you are not aware of what is digital literacy, or what you have to know, then you'll be something odd in this world of technology, actually. For example, there are 8 steps in order to make sure that your students know what is uh, literacy and what is digital literacy. You have to make sure that your students know what are the practical and the functional skills needed, the critical thinking and the evaluation, and the e-safety, safety from internet or from electronic sources, and several other things. So I guess it is the job of the teacher in the 21st century to focus on this type of literacy with their students. Another important thing that we can incorporate into our classes is gamification. making it a game. And inside classroom, your curriculum, your activities, it will be just like what we said, just like a competition. So it's a kind of game to them. It should have a goal, it should have learning point, and it should have concentrate on skills and achievement also. So there is a challenge, there is a reward, there is a kind of competition, and this all will make the user very engaged in the class. The other important thing is that teachers, and not only teachers, departments, colleges, and universities, and even the ministry also must diversify the curriculum, and they help the students gain critical thinking, because if it is only one type of curriculum, then one kind of skill will be enhanced and reinforced and others would be neglected. That's why there should be a diversity of ways of thinking, diversity of curriculum, and of activities that we have, so that we reinforce and we develop all types of skills, not only one skill. Two important points, and we will be done hopefully with general things. The other important thing is we have to incorporate what we call digital citizenship. I think this is also the role of teachers in the 21st century, in order to teach their students what do we mean, or what does it mean to be a digital citizen. A digital citizen is very important, that you have to tell them when they have access to digital data, then you can have digital communication. What are the do's and the don'ts? What are the etiquette, digital etiquette that we have to know? What are the digital laws? What are the digital wellness and healthy things, that rights and responsibilities and security? Because the students actually, they don't know, and maybe they don't know, or maybe they don't want to know actually. But teachers in the 21st century must make sure that their students know what does it mean to be a digital citizen. And you have to encourage hands-on exploration. I think this is not new. Practice, practice, practice. And the last important thing is that they have to learn to take ownership of their education. This our group of students. Again, I have taken permission previously, because they are graduates of College of Basic Education in the General Science Department. When they do something in friendship, in hands-on, with experience, practically, then they will hardly forget these knowledge and information that they have gained through this. And actually, it has been around, I don't know, 6-7 years, but I even recognize the names. I remember this is Aram, this is Ahmed Muhammad, this is Umar. I remember these three names. So, I mean, you see, the relation between teachers and students is important. And when they do things practically, it will be also important. And what is more important is that students must feel the ownership. They take the ownership of their education. And this is nowadays called autonomous learning worldwide. So 21st century teachers must take this into consideration also. So having said this, what is the role of the 21st century? What are the traits that we need to have? We need to be relevant, we need to be collaborative, we need to be actively engaged, we need to be student-centered, we need to flip our classroom, we need to be lifelong learners, and we need to have forward thinking, and we need to be social. These traits are actually very important for the 21st century teachers. This is another way of saying it. A teacher in the 21st century must be the adapter, must be the communicator, must be the learner, the visionary, the leader, the model, and the collaborator at the same time. So maybe we don't have time for another video, but I will share with you later on this link, so that you go with them. You remember there was another 4 C's at the beginning: communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity, right? I want to add another C, which is very important: choice. I suggest that every 21st century teacher adds this to the previous 4: choice. This is also related to the nature of human beings. If we give choice to students, they will take responsibility. If we give them choice as much as we can, not, for example, what to teach, not the content, but maybe the way we teach, the way we deal with them, the classroom rooms, we give them choices, then they will take it as advantage for them, and then they will also feel responsible for that. They will have that sense of responsibility because they have chosen it themselves. So that's why they have to do it, especially in assignments, in projects, and in questions, and in treatment. Actually, there are several ways to give choices to students. So this is nowadays, maybe it's called student agency. So you see, nowadays, the teacher-centered approach on the left side of the picture, we have level 1 embedded choice. For example, we have multiple choice questions and some simple choice menu to choose from. And then sometimes it's more advanced. But for example, when it comes to a project that students should select, should choose by themselves and do it, this is more towards student-centeredness. So student is part of the choice, has the right to choose. The right to choose to do what, not to do it. This is very important not to mix up. So the right of choice is to do whatever they want, not so not doing it is not an option. You do it, do it. Do it the way you want. Do the project that you like. Do the project that you are comfortable with. So I think just to summarize things, what are the tips and recommendations that I give? I know we have challenges. I know we have problems. We have problems with social problems, economical problems, financial problems, but we need to do our job actually. And this is a sacred job and this is a responsibility. So I suggest that we have to help students to have the ability to live and navigate in the world that's changing. We have to embrace technology in our classes. We have to anticipate the future for our students, and we have to teach to reach all the learners, not only some of them. And it is good to foster real, authentic relationship in a time where technology has taken over, technology has uh, usurped and conquered all corners of our life. So it would be good to have some real and authentic relationships. And more importantly, teachers need to be lifelong learners themselves. They have to update their knowledge and their information. It is very important that teachers work on their own or your own digital literacy ourselves, because we cannot teach our students to do anything unless we know it uh, ourselves. It is important to know our subject, the subjects that we teach, and you have to include sources from internet because that's what the students go for first. And we have to know learning strategies, what digital literacy level they are in, what preferences the students have, so that we match it with our teaching methods. It is important also to establish online relations with students, but don't forget we said healthy, real, and authentic relations for the purpose of um, facilitating your work. And not only that, you have to be accessible online according to your schedule, because if students do not have access to you, then this relationship will cut off, and there will be no more relations. Assessment rethinking. We have to rethink our ways of assessment actually, and exams and tests should be used for learning purposes. Give students choice. This is very important. If you have not tried by now, try it. It will have very good results. Some be flexible and develop your skills on continuous basis. This is very important for all the teachers. And some suggestions maybe for ministry or for universities, if we have some people here with us, or if they can hear it later on. In our teachings, we must teach skills more than content, because we prepare them for the life. And we have to have always professional development courses, webinars, and training for the staff. And I also suggest that all teachers do not actually they need to upgrade their level in order to be able to teach the new generation. That's why I suggest that teaching license tests should apply every 5 years, because life is changing, and some teachers unfortunately do not try to develop their skill and their information. So we have seen such teachers all over the universities and schools. So I suggest this also. And there are some sources. These two are books, and these are some videos that you can go later on. 21st Century Skills, Learning for Life in Our Times, and Assessment and Teaching for the 21st Century Skills. These two books are all available in PDF format. If somebody wants it later on, I can share it with Dr. Saber. It is 8:31, Dr. Saber. Thank you very much for listening. And it is time for questions and comments if there are.
Great. Thank you very much, Dr. Himdad. Thank you for the great ideas, tips, strategies. I'm sure they will add to the skills that we already have as teachers, and this will help us to be better teachers, better equipped for the modern time, modern day. Thank you. And I don't know if our colleagues can raise their hands so that we can take questions systematically.
Yes, please.
So, yeah. I don't know if you can see the hands up.
Do you want me to choose, or you will choose, Dr. Sabr? Dr. Rauf wants to be the first.
Dr. Rauf, yes, please. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Actually, I raised my hand through the system also.
Yes, that's right.
Dr. Sabr for arranging this. Professor Dr. Himdad, thank you so much for being so kind and so dedicated and so responsive. I really appreciate your participation, not now right from the beginning of establishing university and development up to now. You have been very cooperative and always ready to help. Thank you so much, my dear brother and friend.
Thanks.
And I really thank everyone for their participation and for their engagement in this very unique webinar. Myself, as usual, I benefited from it, and I'm going to use parts of it that suit my class and the other part that suit my life as an academic in general. Actually, I just would like to, if I may, add to what my dear colleague has talked about, the fact that while we teach, or while we are engaged in the process of teaching at the university, we need to adapt for the 21st century, like if we can say it that way, or at least for this maybe midterm. The fact that artificial intelligence has become part of the whole concern of not only the academic sector, but also the other sectors in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been also followed up by something called, emotional intelligence. But throughout, as a product of certain research and studies in this area, it was found out that neither artificial intelligence nor emotional intelligence can be very influential in the teaching or the education process as a whole. So the suggestion, the alternative is to adapt emotional artificial intelligence education. which is a blending or a mixture of both emotional intelligence and artificial intelligence. How can we do this? This could be very simply conducted through what we see, maybe by seeing on, by looking at the students, we realize whether they understood the topic or they did not understand the topic. So this is realization. And then we choose other, for example, if they did not understand by writing on the board, we may explain with a video, we may explain with a repetition, we may explain maybe with a presentation, we may explain with a peer review among the students themselves. So, or maybe through hearing, through the voice, we can also alter this kind of process. Implement the emotional artificial intelligence in education. So I think this age, the contemporary age for teaching, will be the age of blending emotions and artificial intelligence together in order to be a human teacher, a perfect human teacher.
Human teacher.
In the sense of seeking perfection, not achieving it, and human in the sense of being human and not being like robotic in behavior and in dealing with the situations with students, to be very sharp, regardless of whatever the students might encounter. So I think this, if we can add this to the fabulous information my dear colleague added, we might be proficient teachers for the 21st century. Once again, my dear friend, Professor Dr. Himdad, thank you so much for this contribution. Thank you, Dr. Sal, for organizing it. Thank you, everyone. On behalf of University President and on behalf of the College of Language and my dear colleagues at the Department of English, I really extend my appreciation to Dr. Himdad and to everyone else. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rauf. Thank you. Dr. Sabr, I wanted to choose the people. I know some hands are raised. Dr. Ravinder Kumar, Bhutan.
Yeah, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, please you take care of the questions. I think it is easier and more direct.
Okay.
So please.
Good. Yeah. Dr. Ravinder Kumar.
Hello, Doctor. First of all, accept my heartiest congratulations on conducting such a wonderful session.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Doctor. And I would like to add something here, as you have covered very important aspects as far as 21st century is concerned, especially for the teachers as we are facing today through online classes and because of COVID. I would give this credit to even this pandemic because of this only we have given an opportunity to learn more nuances of technology. So, well, Doctor, you are very good. I have noted many points you have discussed, even of Harvard you have discussed, like the intelligences we have to, as Dr. Rauf already mentioned, the blend of intelligence and emotional quotients are very important here. And we are all very well aware of the basic tenet of the profession that a true teacher always remains a student. As you asked in the beginning, that what a true teaching needs. A true teacher, from my point of view, he needs a kind of, he ceases to be a teacher as soon as he gives up learning. So this is a part of learning, and every day we face problem. Thank you very much, Doctor, for sharing your knowledge on such wonderful issues. Thank you very much,
Dr. Ravinder, for your participation and contribution. It's written Bhutan with me, Bubura Mamsta. Bhutan.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Mamsta, for the webinar. Actually, it was really useful for us.
Welcome, sir.
And actually, your topic is very crucial for nowadays student life and teacher life. I always actually am admired by the technology to learn English language teaching. You know, now we are going to 2021, and even students, they are more engaged to the social media, to technology. And actually, nowadays, as we English teachers, if you are using technology, like you mentioned, digital literacy, or it's very important to engage it with the students so they can learn for English language. So actually, it was really useful. Thank you so much. I try to ask you, what's the difference between digital literacy and gadget?
Actually, yeah, digital literacy. Yes, thank you very much, Mom Sawatan. Thank you. Digital literacy is a concept nowadays around the world that people are aware of what is going on digitally, what's going on around them, what are the rules, what are the we call it etiquette or netiquette, the etiquette that we have to follow on net, while gadgets are only some specific applications or maybe programs that are used.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I want to add one more thing.
Just because of others, if you make it a little bit quicker. Yes.
Just 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes, please.
I published like article. It's nowadays it's on Journal of Critical Review. It's a Scopus journal about the impact of social media on English language learning. So you can, if my dear teachers, they can go there and watch it. It's on Journal of Critical Review.
Good.
This sector that nowadays, even social media or technology, it's very important to learning English language teaching throughout of them. So thank you so much. I don't know, can we get the presentation by email later or?
Yes, Dr. Saber will make sure that you will get it if you have contacts with them. Okay?
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Others in the participants, actually somebody is just iPhone. I don't know the name.
I think it is me.
Yes, yes, now
Chinar?
you are talking. Yes, Mamusta.
Yeah, I'm Chinar, yes. Actually, Dr. Himdad, as usual, your lectures are full of information and energy. In terms of training teachers and helping them towards professional development, actually, I'm working at the Ministry of Education, Minister's Office, Directorate of Relation, and I'm a PG student, second year at studying master's degree at University of Kurdistan in Tucson. So currently, I'm working on my thesis in which I'm targeting actual research for the purpose of training English language teachers to help them to work as a researcher rather than a teacher, to search for their shortcomings, for their problems. And I think my point goes with Dr. Raouf's comment right now when he said about teachers should change their techniques. When, for example, they use this technique, it's not suitable for the teachers, so they have to use other techniques. They have to think, to search, to find the best technique that suits students and the teacher at the same time. So actually, I'm planning to work on my thesis right now, but my project is not only for taking a degree and finishing my master's degree, as it is my second master's, not only the first. But my point is only to help my English language teachers in Kurdistan, because I'm working at the ministry. I can reach the minister. I can help cases, or let's say situations will not be always in a pandemic. Hopefully everything will be fine. And so, yes, inshallah. So I'm trying to my best just to create training courses for teachers to help them to get
professional development on regular basis is very important.
Yes, to update them regularly. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you. I need those who have raised their hand too. Hero Said Muhammad Nouri.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for you, Dr. Himdad. Very useful these webinars. I have an adding and one question.
Yes, please.
For the first one, the project, the blending learning, you talked about the blending learning. Blending learning approach in ability teacher to planning a lectures that will be interesting and engaging and fun for students. Topic are preparing using creative multimedia tools and presented through the online medium, and classroom session to engage students to interactive activity like discussion and debate or oral presentations are clarification about the query. Also, schedules are flexible and convenient as students can access online content anytime.
Yes.
That it is the only the added for this one. Also, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Some teachers have not acknowledged about the using the technology. I think team teaching is one of the strategies to teaching anything, any subject, and also helping the teachers when no have acknowledged to the teach and to use the technology. Do you think that team teaching is a good for teachers when we have not knowledge about technology, or we have another way to teaching any subject, and any strategy or styles to
Good.
use it
Thank you
in
very
the
much,
yes.
Ma'am. The question is very clear. For the teachers who have no knowledge about technology, or they are technologically not well prepared, not well equipped, actually, there are several ways of how to make use of them. The first important thing, for their own sake, they have to learn. They have to learn how to use technology. But until they learn, yes, somebody can help them. Yes, somebody can be their co-teacher or team teaching together. But that should be only for a specific period of time. Team teaching is another concept. Is something very good. But in this way, that person who does not know technology, if he is put in a team who are very good technologically, then he will not try hard. You have to isolate him for some time until he teaches himself, or until he gets the enough training to be able to use technology. But only team teaching maybe will be good for him only for some specific period of time. Otherwise, team teaching is very useful, but there should be agreement about each teacher's role in team teaching. Okay, Ma'am Stahiro? Thank you. Kag Nauzat?
Thank you for you.
Ma'am
Thank you.
Nauzat Khadr?
Hello, do you hear me, doctor?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Himdad, for sharing your knowledge and information, and I thank those who made this webinar to make to happen and to make it true. Doctor, I just want to participate by raising one point that
yes, please.
I am working on an article that is talking about the linking research and teaching. I came up with the idea that to what extent the teaching staff is better compared to people who have no experience in research. So, as you know, we are living in an era in a time that globalization, there is a competition of higher education, and research intensity has become the key indicator of the quality of universities. So the universities requires university staff required to have quite a good knowledge in research. So my question is that to what extent that teachers, the people who are engaged in research, are transfer their knowledge and make the students to engage and share their knowledge with the students, because one of the requirements of students even nowadays is to have a good background of research and to be engaged in research. So do you think this point in this way that we can make we better enhance the teaching process as a whole? Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Nauzat, for sharing your point. Actually, I don't know whether I have understood the question or not, but research is also one of the responsibilities of the teacher, and passing knowledge about how to conduct research to students maybe varies according to the level of the students. If they are senior students, if they are actually, a higher level students, this is very crucial, and because it goes to what we call learning by doing. Whenever they learn something through doing it by research, actually, they will not forget it, and they will be able to share it from their own place. So I think, yes, they are very interrelated, and actually, teaching is just one part, one simple responsibility of the teacher. The others is being a model, being an administrator, being a researcher, being a collaborator, Several other roles are in place. Thank you very much. I think Dr. Salah in the chat says he has a question. If we can, because he didn't raise his hand here. Dr. Salah?
Thank you, dear doctor.
Yes, please.
Really, I want to talk about a challenge. You mentioned that we have to teach all types of learners.
Yes.
So, including them, we have learners that have that their level is very low. So, not only one student, you have several students in any group that with a very low level
That's
scientifically.
right.
I mean, so how to make this learner understand the topic? For example, we may test several ways to make them understand the topic. Still, they have problem in understanding. I think this really a challenge for me. So, how can we deal with such a situation?
Did you try
Dear
face
doctor,
to face?
thanks a
Did you
lot.
try small group outside the class time? This would be very important. Either face to face, one to one, or small group. Give that person a project. Maybe he will not understand the way you explain it. Maybe you are still not sure about what is his learning strategy, what is his learning style. So I believe a single individual project for him or with somebody who is near from his level will be good. And try not to do that, not to give the project, not to give the results in front of his colleagues inside the class. Make it outside or extracurricular activity, as they say, for them specifically. Okay, Dr. Saleh? I hope you got my point. Dr. Saber, if you have no other questions, then
yeah, I've got one
yes,
question.
Yes,
yeah,
please.
Thank you for giving me this chance. Thank you very much once again. Actually, one of the points is very important for me, fostering a good relationship with students. A lot of teachers are concerned about this point, as far as I know, because this is a little bit sensitive, because there should be a border in this relationship. I'm not sure how to set this borderline very effectively so that we stay friendly with our students, but still a kind of formality is kept in the whole
Actually,
education set. Do we need a formality? Yeah, thank you.
That's a challenge. There should be agreement, Dr. Saber. There should be agreement between you and the person you want to establish relation. It should be very clear to them what are their borders. You know how I started the lesson, for example, this year, the first thing, I asked the students, how do you want me to be to you? You ask them, do you want me to be your teacher? Do you want me to be your friend? Do you want me to be your brother? Do you want me to be your guide? Or what do you want me to be for you? So there is a mutual understanding. And then you agree that sometimes you are a teacher, so you have to stop him. Most of the times you are friends. That's okay. But whenever he or she exceeds that line of that you have agreed upon, so you have to set zones, Dr. Saber, for your relationship. This is, I mean, you can draw it on the whiteboard also for them. This is a green zone area where everyone is welcome, and this is a red zone area where nobody can come in. So when it comes to personal things, maybe this is a red zone area. But when it comes to helping them with their situation, with their life, with their study, then it would be okay. Actually, setting the zones at the beginning would be very important. I know due to some social, cultural problems, due to, I mean, the community and cultural differences, actually, there might be problems. But I guarantee that there are very good and healthy relations among students and teachers and among students themselves. This will yield to very positive results in their future.
Great. Thank you very much, Dr. Gan.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm not sure if you've got more questions, but it has been a great evening for me and for other teachers. We've learned a lot. Thank you very much for your time, for your knowledge. for contributing these great ideas, tips, strategies. Thank you. And I think this is going to be the end of the webinar.
Yes, thank you very much.
A very happy new year for everyone and have a great time. Thank you everyone for joining us. A very, very special thank you for Dr. Himdad.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saber, and for University of Human Development, and for Dr. Raouf, and for your presence also. You are very good listeners. Thank you very much, because actually this is very crucial and very important. And I reiterate that I will share the recording link with Dr. Saber maybe later this tonight or early morning, and the slides of the presentation, inshallah. Thank you very much. It was a good opportunity to know you all. And my email was on the slide. So in case you had any question, any follow-up demands, then I'm ready. Thank you for the opportunity. And with your permission, I'm going to end the session. And have a good holiday, a good year with you and your families and loved ones. Thank you very much again.